And so I really wanted to help other people discover, what I learned, that you don't always have to be smaller to be better, to be healthier, to be the better athlete stuff, because all I was seeing was like the wellness influencers that they didn't really have the right information. And so I started like, hey, this scientifically, this is not how that works. Like, let me explain this, which led me a little bit further into working with women who have left MLMs. The technical answer is no. I have never been a sales rep, partner, whatever you want to call it, with an MLM. I did, however, do some science work for Herbalife. I was just catching shit on fire, honestly. And I started looking into why we don't have like foundations that support women who are leaving MLMs, because technically women are leaving cults. I have been super lucky to help over 50 women who have left MLMs. I think there's such a misconception about anti-MLM content creators or activists. And with MLMs, number one, they are a scam. But number two, and I think that's why reps stay in MLMs for so long. So I've seen a lot of really bad like medical conditions come out of MLMs. It's not necessarily just apply for it. As I have funding, I try to select people who are the most in need of the scholarship.
So today we have a very special guest. Our schedules didn't align for various reasons, but we're finally together now. I discovered her content when she was debunking misinformation online, and what caught my attention the most were the scholarships that she offers to representatives who have left the MLM world. We will discuss those in more detail later. It's such an honor to have her here. She's a registered dietitian. She's an exercise physiologist, strength coach, and personal trainer with over 10 years of experience in the nutrition and fitness industry. And I think you're still in school. We can talk about that as well. So let's give a warm welcome to Abby Kathleen.
Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
I'm so excited for you to be here. Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you ended up debunking misinformation online?
Sure. So when I was younger, I had, I guess, trigger warning first. Talk about anorexia. So growing up, I was diagnosed with anorexia by age 8, and that lasted until I was 25 years old, where I was severely under eating. I was a dancer, so I had all that pressure from dance nonstop, be skinnier, to look better, and I really just had a lot of like body image issues. So when I went to college, I did like a 6-year undergrad stint because I had no idea what I wanted to do. I started off in dance, and during that process, I mean, I was burning like 1,500 calories a day. So learning to eat was really important to me at that point in my life. And I got really big into nutrition. And so I ended up going to nutrition school here in Colorado. And with that, I realized that when I first started nutrition school, I wanted to justify my eating disorder. And I came out with so much information about like body image, food relationships, nutrients, all of that sort of stuff. And so I really wanted to help other people discover, what I learned, that you don't always have to be smaller to be better, to be healthier, to be the better athlete. Sometimes it is about weight gain to be able to do that. And so I got my bachelor's, and then I went on to get my master's in dietetics as well as biochemistry. And in that process, I kind of started learning that there's a lot of different ways to lose weight, right? We have supplements. Some people say we have supplements. We have exercise, we have diet, medications now. And so I wanted to be the like bearer of all of it and be able to explain that to people and like what actually works and what doesn't work. And somewhere I think the algorithm on my social media got messed up because all I was seeing was like the wellness influencers that they didn't really have the right information. And so I started like, hey, this scientifically, this is not how that works. Like, let me explain this. And I really found a passion for science communication, which led me a little bit further into working with women who have left MLMs because, I wanted to bring science and evidence, and a lot of that isn't portrayed in MLMs. So it kind of ended up with Abby versus Herbalife, Abby versus Beachbody. And so just kind of correcting some of that misinformation. And I realized that doing so makes the world a little bit of a better place. It helps a little bit more people, stay out of the like financial stress, emotional stress that brings. And I really just wanted to help everyone that I could and keep like save them money. Nutrition doesn't have to be like $1,700 a month for supplements.
And the work that you were doing online, it was amazing because it is not the same thing. For example, me saying Beachbody coaches are not certified and what they're saying is bull crap or whatever, right? Versus somebody like you with all the credentials that you have saying the same thing. It has a lot more weight, of course. So
Man, it depends. It depends on who you're talking to.
I used to share like a lot of your content. And have you ever been part of an MLM before?
The technical answer is no. I have never been a sales rep, partner, whatever you want to call it, with an MLM. I did, however, do some science work for Herbalife about 10 years ago, some science and nutrition work. So I was one of the scientists who helped create the teas and all of the shakes. So I did the nutrients on those and helped like formulate all of that. But I was working right underneath, I don't want to mention names, but I was working right underneath one of the founders. And that was really the first time that I've really had an experience with MLMs. They tried to get me to join, and I was like, that doesn't sound right to me. So I never joined, but I did a lot of the like science work, which it was toxic. It was a toxic culture.
So when you were in the corporate side,
Yeah.
they invited you to join, or was that at a
So
later
like
time?
it was while I was there. I mean, it was probably the first week I was on the job. And I kind of made it very clear, like, I'm just here for the science. I don't know a lot about MLMs, but I haven't heard very good things up until this point. And it was like the first week they asked me to join, and then maybe the second week they asked again, and then after that they stopped asking.
But wouldn't that be like a conflict of interest? I'm just thinking in my head, what the hell?
I mean, sure. Like the type of work that I was doing was like verifying, I was just catching shit on fire, honestly. So I would take calorie requirements or like the calorie content of the teas and measure that and put it on a nutrition label and then taste it. And if it tasted terrible, we would have to obviously change it. So I kind of don't think it would be a conflict of interest just because you can't lie about those numbers. There's nothing, like, if you start lying about it and someone finds out, that's a really big deal.
Mhm.
So I think it would have been fine, but I really didn't like the people I was working for. The founder was not a nice person. She was very toxic. Her kids would come in and act like they owned the place and come like mess around in my lab and with open flames and stuff. And it was just like, please, everyone get out. I I also worked for a gym who they doubled as an Herbalife like tea shop. So you'd go like work out and then you'd get an Herbalife shake afterwards.
Mhm.
But again, I never joined. It was like $65 and I was like, I need money. But I was just a trainer at the gym. Didn't really like support or not support the shakes. It was just not something I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
But I mean, in terms of nutrition, they're very high in sugar. So I didn't really want to like make those recommendations right after a workout.
Knowing your past with Herbalife, what would you consider your favorite drink? That's just me being curious.
I don't remember what they were called,
Okay.
but you'd like fill up the cup with water and then drop a tab in it.
Okay.
And it was like fizzy. Just
Okay.
let it dissolve. Like almost like a, what are
Like
those like medicine things?
like mineral water?
Al Alka-Seltzers, where they just like
Yeah.
fizz and dissolve. Uh, Energy teas, that's what they are.
Oh,
Those
okay.
were really good. Yeah, I really liked those. But again, everything just had so much, like so many calories to it that I have a hard time justifying drinking anything outside of like diet sodas, water, unless it has alcohol in it, because why not? But just like having a 120 calorie tea on the day, not really my thing.
Yeah, that's understandable. And how did you come up with the idea of the scholarships?
Yeah, I am actually a moderator for Sounds Like an MLM, but okay, on Facebook. And so I was just perusing. I don't know how I actually got into that group. Maybe I was just curious about MLMs. I don't know. I've always kind of been anti-MLM, so but like looking into the stories that the women share in there about how it's destroyed their health, their finances, all of those things made me really empathetic. And I started looking into why we don't have like foundations that support women who are leaving MLMs because technically women are leaving cults and they're not getting that outside support to rebuild their lives and rebuild their relationships. And so I wanted to do something that hasn't ever really been done. And hopefully, like me doing this can help inspire other people with more reach, more funding to put money into these individuals who are broken, leaving MLMs.
That's such a great idea.
I've been super lucky to help over 50 women who have left MLMs rebuild their relationship with exercise, with food, with their body image, with their spouses. It's been a really cool experience that's, I'm so lucky that my clients will just fund that for me and for everyone to really get the help that they need to get in order to like stand on their own and get back into society without their MLM.
Anything that we can help the reps, that's a big win.
I
So,
think there's such a misconception about anti-MLM content creators or activists, and it's that we aren't actually here to help people. We're just like big meanies, we're Karens, but that's not true. Every single person I've ever talked to who is in like the anti-MLM movement really wants to help those who may not be able to see what's on the other side or the people who are trying to leave, especially because the majority, I think I'm in like the smaller portion, but the majority of the anti-MLM content creators and activists have been in MLMs and they've seen both sides. I've only been an outsider looking in, so I don't have the same experiences, but I think the same goal is still there. We all just want to help. I think it's so important. And, you know, once you find a niche on like social media, you just kind of fit in and you belong. There's not like cool kids or lame kids. It's just like everyone is just working for the same cause. I think
yeah.
that's really cool. With MLMs, number one, they are a scam, but number two, it's the people at the bottom that, don't have a big team, that they're just trying to like recruit as many people as they can, but they've only been able to recruit two people in the last 2 years. They don't know it's a scam. They don't know that they're going to hurt the people's finances below them. They think that they're doing the right thing because that's what the people above them have consistently said is that, you need to recruit because if you recruit, you get more people in on this opportunity, and that means everyone makes money. But that's a lie. And so if you're constantly fed the lies and the misinformation, it becomes true in your head.
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely. I actually just shared something like that in my stories this morning. When somebody feeds you a lie for so much time, you end up believing it and it becomes your reality.
It does. And I think that's why reps stay in MLMs for so long, is
Yeah.
because it's the devil you know. And there's still hope on the other end, right? Just because like the last 5 years have been terrible for finances, what makes the next 5 years also terrible? Like I can change it when you're just set up in a system that is designed to make you fail.
It's a sad situation.
My first round of scholarships that I offered, I had a woman come to me who had stage 3 cancer, and her upline was telling her not
Oh
to
my
get
God.
medical treatment. That the company that she repped for, um, has like a cancer proving like it's proven to remove cancer from your body, so don't do it. And she was when she started her MLM, she was a stage 1. When she left, it was a stage 3. So I've seen a lot of really bad like medical conditions come out of MLMs. It's not necessarily just relationships with food, with your body, with exercise, but it's, in a lot of ways it's relationships with medicine too, or trust. Um, it's really sad to see what some of these women go through for being just an MLM rep where they're making, we talked about it, prison money. So
Yeah. Can you please tell us a little bit about your scholarship, how they work, and who can apply for them?
have an application on my website. I'll make sure that you have the updated link. But basically, you just apply for it. As I have funding, I try to select people who are the most in need of the scholarship. I don't do it alone. I do it with a board of 5 or 6 people. I have a lot of anti-MLM individuals who mostly work a lot behind the scenes. They're not creators, but they work like behind the scenes as admins of groups, moderating Reddit, that sort of stuff. So you don't see them unless there's a problem. But I do have a lot of people that will help me pick who needs the scholarship. And even if I can't offer you a full ride because I don't have the funding, I do keep scholarships kind of on the back burner. So once more funding comes through, I start re-looking at all of the applications. And if you pop up, send you an email and say, hey, like, are you still interested in this? But mostly I'm looking for individuals who have left an MLM within the last 6 months. That does not mean that you shouldn't apply if you left an MLM 2 years ago and you're still struggling with any issue, whether it's like malnutrition or relationship with food, relationship with exercise, body image, it doesn't really matter what you're struggling with. If it's out of scope because I don't know, obviously I'm a dietitian, but I don't know all of dietetics. I've really specialized in a couple different areas. So if I don't have an answer for you, what I can also do is give that money that would come to me to another dietitian in the industry and pay for your scholarship to like pay for months of coaching with a different dietitian or different provider. I don't really care about like follower count or what you do for work. Like I just want to know that like if I offer this, you're willing to put in the work. And if you do that, you'll get some benefit out of it. So I'm not looking for like a popularity contest. And then scholarships, I accept scholarships on a rolling basis. So even though I may not have funding right now, I never know when I'm going to get funding to offer another scholarship. So I always encourage people to apply consistently.
Mhm. So before I let you go, can you please tell us a little bit about the type of services that you offer?
We kind of briefly mentioned school earlier, and so I'm a candidate in a dual doctorate. So I can offer a little bit of like medication advice. I am a candidate in biomedicine and clinical nutrition. So with that, I can offer like medication management and like how to reduce symptoms of certain medications, whether it's through nutrition or through like maybe supplements or food or other aspects. So that's one thing that I do. I also do exercise science. So I work with athletes. I've worked with NHL, NFL, NBA athletes, power lifters, weightlifters. You name it, I've done it. I don't really do bodybuilding, but for the most part, I work with any athlete as far as like strength and conditioning goes, getting you ready for game day, getting you ready for that competition. I also offer nutrition coaching, which is the strength and the nutrition is both on my app, which is the FXNL Strength app. And you get a free account there and you get unlimited, like you can reach out to me or your coach any number of times during the month. You get certain sessions, you get a lot of references, you get a lot of different like documents that'll help you with your like day to day. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I also offer meal plans. So if that's something that's really important to someone, I do offer that. I might convince you to go about it a different way, but it depends on the individual. And then I do like in-person training, group classes, I do online classes, constantly lecturing. And then fun fact that no one knows is I also do like homework help. So if you are a nutrition student and you're looking for, advice on this paper, like can you read this paper, or you're a fourth grader looking at a science paper, you can send that to me and I will respond with my honest critiques and send it back to you. I've done a lot of winners for science fairs across the like state level, which has been cool to see. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. And where can people find you if they want to go and get your services?
I would say the best place to find me is the fitness scientist, which has a unique like spelling, the dot fitness underscore scientist on Instagram, on Facebook. You can also go to www.fxnlstrength.com and then there's a chat feature which pings my phone as soon as you send a chat and we can have a conversation right on the website.
Oh, okay. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna leave all your links in the description as well.
I have a referral list of about 75 dietitians that I refer out to, dietitians and strength coaches. So if I can't do it, chances are I know someone who can do it, who is relatively similar in price points as me.
Okay, that's good to know.
Thank you so much for your time. This was fun.
Thank you. Thank you for your time as well. It was really nice meeting you. It was nice talking
Yeah,
to you. Thank you for all
absolutely.
the work that you're doing, and thank you
You
for
as well.
supporting my crazy project.
It's important. I wouldn't say it's crazy. I would say it's crazy important. I think what you're doing has a lot of weight and I'm excited to be part of it. And hopefully, maybe through your website and like all of us coming together, we'll kind of start breaking down some of the barriers that people have when they want to leave MLMs.